longtime executive in Donald Trump's real estate company, says she witnessed racist, sexist, and all-around boorish behavior from Donald Trump for years. Barbara Rez writes in her new book, quote, "If you didn't know the actual facts, he could slip something past you." Joining us now is Barbara Rez. Her new book is about her 18 years working for Trump. It's called Tower of Lies, and it is on bookshelves now. Barbara, great to see you.
Good morning. It's nice to see you again.
So let's talk about everything that you witnessed. I mean, you had this front row seat for 18 years. And let's just start with the racist behavior that you say you witnessed. You write in your book that he didn't want any black workers on his construction sites. And here's what you write. "Get him off there right now," Donald said, "and don't ever let that happen again. I don't want people to think that Trump Tower is being built by black people." You go on to say he also didn't want a black job applicant, a young man, sitting in the lobby of Trump Tower. Why? Why didn't he want any blacks visible?
Okay, well, as the first item is where there was a black man grinding the concrete on the second floor of the building when it was wide open, and you could see it from the street, and he saw it from his office or the building lobby, and that's what upset him. And he called me, and another person, he said, I don't want that to happen again. We don't want people thinking that this is being built by black people. Later, I was interviewing architectural students for a plant clerk job. And I had a young man waiting for me in the lobby. I was across at the building. And after I interviewed him, I saw Donald, or perhaps someone told me he needs to see you. And he said, "Don't ever let that happen again. I don't want black kids sitting in my lobby where millionaires are coming in to buy apartments. Don't let it happen." And that really, really took me aback. I have to be honest with you. And I think to this day, and I'm not sure, I didn't choose this man because I had a better candidate that I liked that was more interested in following up in construction. But would I have hired him? I probably would have.
And so when Donald Trump at the time said things like that, I mean, I know it was the 80s, did anybody ever say to him, call him on it and say, "How dare you speak like that"?
Well, I did. I did. I said, "You're being ridiculous." Well, see, you had to pick your spots with Donald, and I tried to, be honest about it, but not, enrage him, because what was the point of that? I wasn't happy about it, to be honest with you, but it's a long time ago. It was a very different time, and people say, "Well, why did you still work for him?" There weren't a lot of choices at the time, especially for a girl engineer. So I figured being there, I could do more than letting him hire another racist like himself to do my job.
Yeah. You also say he cannot stand the working class people who make up his base. You write, his world is personal drivers, exclusive clubs, private planes, and parties, but without the MAGA hat wearing white male, he has no political career. So he created the charade, friend to the common man. Give me a break. Trump can't stand the common man. How do you know that?
Well, there's a story in my book, which is very telling. After project structure is completed, the concrete or the steel, you have a big party celebrating that and thanking the men for the work. And it's always men, still is. So we were planning a party, and I went to see Donald with the project manager from the contractor, and we talked about it. And Donald was all excited about it. He said, "This is great. I'm going to have this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have this politician, blah, blah, blah." And we were talking about the logistics and how there are so many men working on the job. It's going to be not easy to put together. And he says, "What? What? Men? What men? You're not going to have the workers here." And we said, "Donald, it's for the workers." And he was like, he didn't want, well, okay, how about just the foreman? I mean, I'm going to have champagne here. I mean, this is not for workers, not for the construction workers. And, that to me was indicative of the fact that here were these, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe more people that are working very hard for him to build them a building. And he had absolutely no feeling for them. He totally disregarded them. He had no respect for them.
So Barbara, you worked for him for 18 years. Is the Donald Trump that you see today on your TV screen the same as the man that you worked for? Is there something that is surprising you now, today?
Well, that's really the essence of my book. I go back and talk about the seeds of what we see today being there when I was working for him way back when. And because I had this very unusual relationship with him and so much access, there really is no one that can speak to the Donald of that time probably better than I. Yes, he has changed, but again, like I said, that you could always see it coming. There were some things about him that did surprise me, and maybe because he sort of protected me from this side of him. But like that remark, that is Billy Bush remark back way back when in 2016 about women, and that shocked me. I didn't think that he would go on TV and admit to assaulting women. So there are things that do surprise me, but things that don't surprise me. They're all in the pattern. They follow the patterns that he set.
I mean, quickly, what about all the revelations about his taxes? That he hasn't paid taxes for many years, that he recently paid $750 taxes while he was in office. You say that he thinks that laws and things like that are for stupid people. Meaning what?
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. He thinks that every law can be skirted one way or another, and he has been doing that, and he's sort of gotten away with it. The taxes didn't surprise me at all. I would have expected just that. What surprised me was over a year ago, the Times did an article about how his family set up this scam corporation to do all the repairs and stuff at the Trump buildings, and they were able to take all this money out of the company and not pay state taxes on it and stuff like that. And I was shocked to see that there were people like Marianne and Elizabeth, his two sisters, who I knew pretty well. I was so disappointed in seeing that they were involved in something like that.
Just want to read from the Trump side what his communications director for the Trump campaign says about your book. This is, quote, "This is transparently a disgruntled former employee packaging a bunch of lies in a book to make money." We only have a few seconds, Barbara. Your response?
My response: I'm not disgruntled. We left on very good terms. I got a couple of letters of recommendation, wonderful letters of recommendation from Donald. I didn't know what this is going to be like, and I feel that everyone here has to do what they can to stop him from getting reelected. And what I can do is write a book, and that's what I did.
The book again is called Tower of Lies. It is out now. Barbara Rez, thank you very much for being on New Day.
Thank you.